Can't remember the name.
Yeah. Darn it.
So it's irrelevant anyway.
Well, I used to love to go there, but you can't try it anymore because they're gone.
They're gone.
Oh, why don't we take a break here?
All right.
And when we come back, we'll rein it in a little bit, and we'll start talking about you guys.
This water.
We're going to leave here with The Abyss from Gomorrah. Not to be confused with Gamera, which I did for the longest time until I had this band in studio, and they corrected me quite harshly.
Wow.
So this is The Abyss. You're listening to My Night Out Radio on Rhode Island Free Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Crusty, damn it. Rein it in. That was The Abyss by Gomorrah. You're listening to My Night Out Radio on Rhode Island Free Radio. If you're looking up any interesting facts or you're looking up for some events coming up, definitely check out our website, MyNightOutRI.com. If you want to get on the show like JL and Frankie here, all you have to do is hit me up on My Night Out Radio at Verizon.net. Also check us out on Facebook, Facebook.com/My Night Out. So, guys, I got to ask you, what's coming up? What do you have going on?
Oh.
Yeah,
Mr. Chatterbox.
Unlike other shows, we don't have really structured questions.
Okay, all right.
It's like, you tell me about what's coming on, and it's about as much as...
Well, I'm going to be working on some trading cards for Colossal Kaiju Combat. It's sort of like a, I think of it like Godzilla fighting game, kind of. They are working on the actual video game, Sunstone Games, but they also have this trading card set that they started maybe 3 years ago, and I'm already on set 6, so... Total number of cards I've done so far has been maybe close to 300.
Wow.
Yep.
That I've illustrated, drawn, and had to digitally color.
They're amazing.
I get writer's cramp just trying to write a grocery list.
Oh, man. Trust me, I've had my moments with deadlines and stuff like that. But, you know, the end result is that when I see them done, it just brings the biggest smiles to my face, man. It's just like I accomplished. Like I go, the late nights and
So you really definitely take pride in what you're doing.
Oh,
It's
of
not
course.
just cookie cutter.
Of
All
course.
right, let's add a horn here and make them scarier.
Well, the great thing about these cards is that it's the fans, the fans that are part of that forum.
Yep.
That's on this with this company. It's their monsters.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's literally they send me their best drawings or whatever, and then I just use my style and I draw the characters out.
All right.
And so
pretty cool.
yeah, it is actually pretty good because they literally get a trading card of their characters.
Nice.
Yeah, not a bad selling pitch.
And are you selling these cards, the previous sets or whatever, or where could I get these cards?
You would have to go to sunstonegames.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I have my own little stash. That's just for my collector kind of thing. But yeah, you would definitely order them and stuff. And if you happen to see me at a show, I'll sign them up for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, JL, about your writing. How do you get your ideas? What as you can tell already, I do not prepare for anything. So tell me, what do you write about, and what are your ideas based on?
My ideas seem to come either from Frankie, because he's my muse.
Whoa.
All right. And no, it's funny because my first book, like I took me 7 years to write it. So the idea came from just, I don't know where my ideas come from.
You like J.K. Rowling.
Well, they come from what I read.
Yep.
So like Harry Potter, Stephen King, all that kind of different stuff. But also they just seem, because right now I'm actually working on the sequel to The Last Daughter of Lilith. And I'm at 41,000 words, which is really exciting because about 75,000 words makes up a full-length novel. So I'm getting close.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So, and like with Menagerie of the Weird, the short stories, some of them I already had, and I tweaked them to either add it, because I was like, oh, this Rhode Island, they're all connected by Rhode Island. So I either tweaked them to add that Rhode Island bit or make them better, because some of them were old and not as good. Or they were just ideas like, I do transcription work, and I was listening to this audio of this woman who does soup testing. She taste tests soups. Yeah. And in my mind, I was like, this would make I could make this a really cool, like, horrific short story where she's tasting soups, and something that shouldn't be in the soups is in the soups, like Soylent Green or something. So, it's that kind of stuff, like, just every day. And I remember reading Stephen King's book on writing, and him saying the same thing. Like, he wrote The Mist. He was in a grocery store one day, and he's like, what would happen if all the power went out and monsters started coming in out of nowhere? And it's like that kind of thing. Like, you're just going about your day, and this idea pops in your head, well, what if this happened? Yeah. What if this happened?
But haven't you gotten some words back from some of your friends who have been reading it, and they're shocked?
They're a little surprised
by some of the intensity of some of the stories, because some of the stories have some intense violence.
When you let your mind run free, I find there are a lot of people around you saying, wow, I didn't know you had that in you.
Exactly, yes.
And I've had a couple, one of my friends she said that it was more violent than she expected. And not all the stories are violent, but it's a horror anthology. Yeah. So
in horror, there's always going to be violence. There's always going to be some type of a sexual or pseudo-sexual content to it.
Right.
And there's always going to be at least one screaming blonde girl who bites it within the first 15 minutes.
Well, I think the different thing, though, is that JL tends to make a lot of female protagonists. So that's a little twist on it, too, where the female is in some degree in a sense of stronger position.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Right.
So that's a little different.
Yeah, because
it's a good juxtaposition to have the screaming blonde guy.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, one of the stories in Menagerie of the Weird, it's a female serial killer basically. So it's her, luring unsuspecting men into her apartment so that she can torture and kill them.
I think that's called marriage.
Oh,
no. Marriage is much slower and more painful. I love you, honey.
Oh man. It's going to be a cold night tonight. Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, my ideas come from everywhere. That one I actually wrote after I read the book of American Psycho, which isn't surprising that inspired me to write something fairly violent, but the book is way more violent.
Well, I used to get that same thing from my mother, where she would look at me, and I when I was a kid, I drew I loved monsters. Like, I read Dracula Frankenstein, loved the 1940 movies, and the Wolfman is my favorite character. And I would draw all these monsters and stuff like that. And she'd be like, "Baby, I mean, you're a good artist, but why don't you try to draw flowers?" I love because she told me that. And I'm like, yeah, I like flowers and I like trees and I like stuff like that, but monsters are kind of cool. And I remember talking to her, trying to explain how I could identify with monsters sometimes, where I was pretty not an overly popular kid, but I was that kid who could kind of slide in, like people would still be my friend and whatever. But but I can identify in the sense of some of the monsters where I feel sorry for them. Like Frankenstein monsters is a sad story.
Yeah.
Or like the Wolfman, you got this guy traumatized, like he's trying to fight this change and everything and whatever. So I could understand that. But she would just be like, "Oh, I don't know. Well, you need to go to Catholic school." And I went to Catholic school.
Being the product of 12 years of Catholic schooling, I can tell you, just looking at my class and the class behind mine, I've had graduates of 12 years of Catholic school become dominatrix. So it's not always... it's not always set you on that right path. I mean,
I
and Frankie still draws monsters.
I still draw monsters. And I draw occasionally some flowers, but the flowers may eat you. But, hey, there you go.
Well, why don't we take a break here? Because we definitely have a lot more macabre things we could talk about off the air. Why don't we leave here with a song? Keeping with the sci-fi theme, it's called Doctor Who.
Yes!
Nice.
The name of the band is The Frenzy of Tongues, which if you ever see their live show, don't get in the front row.
Okay.
Chinese food goes flying everywhere.
Really?
Why not?
They are the best live presence on a stage I've seen in a long time because they are just so animated and you really don't know what's going to come.
I'll take some spare ribs.
I saw the Bloodhound Gang at Lupo's once, and they threw hot dogs at us.
Wow. No buns?
No buns. Raw hot dogs.
Well, you want everything now, don't you?
I paid
That's asking a lot.
So this is The Frenzy of Tongues, Doctor Who. You're listening to My Night Out Radio on Rhode Island Free Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
I will teach you the folly of your words. We destroy you and demonstrate the power of the Daleks. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate,
Let's survive all the time, let's fought across the galaxy. And it's time as he travels to all times and all the worlds. Usually he's got a sidekick, most of them are pretty girls. Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. They've turned it to them and others all cool. Doctor Who.